Hello class! Welcome to our channel. This is Alan Shane at your service. Thank you so much class for choosing Alan Shane's tutorial for you to be able to know more about accounting. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. So now, our topic is all about types and effects of transactions. So again, types and effects of transactions. It will be beneficial in the long term to be able to understand a classification approach that emphasizes the effects of accounting events rather than those recording procedures involved. So this approach about types and effects of transaction is quite pioneering. Although business entities engage in numerous transactions, all transactions can be classified into 4 types. And those 4 types, these are the types and effects of transactions. First is the source of assets or the SA. Second, types and effect is the exchange of assets. Third is the use of assets, and the fourth is the exchange of claims or EC. Okay, so let's discuss first the source of assets or the SA. So when we say SA, it is an asset account, increases and a corresponding claims, liabilities or owner's equity account also increases. So, here in the SA, an asset account daw will increase. And also, liabilities or owner's equity account increases. So, in the journal entry, example is first, purchase of supplies on account. So, this is the first transaction ha. So, if the business purchase of supplies on account, what does it mean? It means na bumili ang business ng supplies on account. When we say on account, ibig sabihin, inutang. Bumili ng supplies pero inutang. So, that is why it increases asset and also increases liabilities. So, what is the journal entry of purchase of supplies on account? So, we have to debit supplies because the supplies increases and supplies is an asset. Okay? And we have to credit accounts payable. Because hindi binayaran ang pagbili ng supplies, that is why we incur accounts payable. Okay? So, asset increases, accounts payable increases. Diba, in our topic sa debit and credit double entry system, that when the asset increase, debit, and when the accounts payable or the liability increase, credit. Okay, next example in the source of assets is sold goods on cash on delivery basis. Therefore, sold, what do you mean by sold? Ibig sabihin ng sold is napabili ang goods on cash. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong sales and then, so, we have to make a journal entries. So, debit, cash, credit, sales. Nakuha? Because we increase our cash, that is why we have to debit the cash. And also increase our sales. So, diba, SA is increase in asset and increase in liabilities or owner's equity. So here in the first transaction, both increases the asset and the liabilities or owner's equity. Here also in the second transaction, the cash and sales also increases. So this transactions is SA or the source of assets, ang kanyang types and effects. Okay? So next types and effects of transaction. Here, when we say exchange of assets or EA, one asset account increases and another asset account decreases. So, ang naapektuhan sa EA are assets. Wala ng liabilities, wala ng owner's equity. Therefore, an example of this is acquired equipment for cash. How do we journalize this one? So, acquired. When we say acquired, nakabili. Nakabili ng anong binili? Equipment or bumili. Bumili ng equipment for cash. Ibig sabihin, pagbili ng equipment, binayaran. 'Di ba ang equipment is an asset? Cash also is an asset. Therefore, dalawang account titles ang naapektuhan and those account titles are all assets. So, one account increases, asset account increases. So, saan ang nag-increase? Di ba yung equipment? Because bumili tayo ng equipment, therefore, meron tayong equipment. So, increase equipment. Okay? So, debit because when the asset increase, it should be debited. Okay? Next. Anong next na account title ang napektuhan? Cash. And the cash, increase or decrease? Decrease. Why? Because we pay cash to acquire equipment. Therefore, nakuhaan ang cash or nakuhanan tayo ng cash. That is why we have to credit cash. Okay? So here, the effect for the equipment increase and the effect for the cash decreases. So, it is called the EA because one asset increase and one asset decreases. Okay? So, understood? Okay, next. Next type and effects of transactions. Here, it is called the use of assets or the UA. Here in the use of assets, an asset account decreases and a corresponding claims or liabilities or equity account decreases. So here, the asset account is nagunsa, decrease. And the liabilities or equity also decrease. So what is a transaction example for the use of assets? So the example of this is acquired equipment for let's change this one because this is an example for the exchange of assets. So ibahin natin. So, example for the use of assets is settled account, settled accounts payable. Okay. And another example is paid salaries of employees. In this first example, this transaction means settled accounts payable. So when we say settled accounts payable, binayaran ang utang. That is why we have to debit what? Accounts payable. Because nakuhaan na yung utang kasi binayaran. And credit what? Anong ginamit pagbayad? Cash. Okay? So here, in the second transaction, paid salaries of employees. So when we say paid salaries of employees, we have to debit salaries expense and credit also cash. Okay? So here in the first transaction, the accounts payable decreases and the cash also decreases. So it is the effects in the use of assets. Liabilities or account or equity account decreases and the asset also decreases. Here salaries expense, so under pa rin siya ng effect sa equity. So it decrease. Okay, so next, exchange of claims. When we say exchange of claims, one claims liabilities or owner's equity account increases. And another claims liabilities or owner's account decreases. So, liabilities or owner's account increases and the liabilities or owner's account decreases. Example of this exchange of claims is received utilities bill but did not pay. So the journal entry for this transaction is debit utilities expense and credit the accounts payable. So here, the utilities expense under the owner's equity, so diba it will decrease the owner's equity and also the accounts payable increase the liability. Okay? So next, here, these are the 4 types of transactions above, may be further and expanded into 9 types of effects as follows. So what are those? When we say increase in assets is equal to increase in liabilities, so it is called SA or the source of assets. Increase in assets is equal to increase in owner's equity, also called SA or the source of assets. Increase in one asset is equal to decrease in another asset. It is EA or the exchange of claims. Decrease in assets is equal to decrease in liabilities called the UA or the use of assets. Decrease in assets is equal to decrease in owner's equity. So, UA. So, familiarize this class ha. So, next is increase in liabilities is equal to decrease in owner's equity. So, that is called the exchange of claims. And when we say increase in owner's equity is equal to decrease in liabilities, it is also called the exchange of claims. Increase in one liability is equal to decrease in another liability. So that is exchange of claims, and increase in one owner's equity is equal to decrease in another owner's equity. That is called the exchange of claims. So, to summarize, these are the types and effects of transactions. We have the source of assets, the exchange of assets, the use of assets, and the exchange of claims. When we say the source of assets, it is when asset account increases and a corresponding claims, liabilities, or owner's account increases. When we say exchange of assets, one asset account increases and another asset account decreases. Use of assets, an asset account decreases and a corresponding claims, liabilities, or equity account decreases. Exchange of claims, one claims account increases and another claims account decreases. Okay, so that's it for our types and effects of transactions. Hope you learned something, class, because this topic is quite pioneering, and this emphasizes the effects of accounting events rather than the recording procedures involved. So thank you so much, class, for listening. God bless.